Please be seated. At this time, I would like to introduce the Honorable Reggie McNeil. Reggie McNeil was nominated Acting Secretary of the Pennsylvania Department of General Services on February 1st, 2023, the first African American to ever hold the cabinet position. As Acting Secretary of the Department of General Services, McNeil oversees Pennsylvania's state government operating agency responsible for the procurement of goods and services, the management of non-highway capital projects, the management of the Commonwealth's real estate portfolio, increasing and advancing contracting opportunities for small and diverse businesses, the expansion of energy, sustainability, and conservation activities, and the maintenance and protection of state-owned buildings and facilities. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the Honorable Reggie McNeil.
Good morning. Morning. I'd like to thank Governor Shapiro and the Department of Military and Veterans Affairs for inviting me to participate in today's groundbreaking event for the Hollidaysburg Veterans Home. This year, the Department of General Services Capital Projects team will lead the planning, design, procurement, and construction for 392 projects across the Commonwealth. But this project resonates most with me because I once served alongside the men and women who will benefit from the high level of care offered within these invisible walls. DMVA approached DGS with a need for a modern facility that would support provisions for our veterans with a long-term care need. It was said that the facility must promote dignity, independence, and be a welcoming environment for them and their family members. We knew this would be an all-hands-on-deck effort. Not only will this facility support the needs of the veterans, but it will be sustainable. Energy conservation measures were considered during the design phase, where we were able to reduce the cost of the project by $250,000. And we'll also have a projection of annual energy savings of 31.5% of the current energy cost. Through our discussions with DMVA and Hollidaysburg staff, and even current residents of the Hollidaysburg Veterans Home, we were able to reach a design that breaks away from the institutional architectural structure that long-term care facilities are known. This is not just from the external layout and design, but even as far as the interior aesthetics, such as lighting, signage, and floor and carpet material patterns and colors are concerned. So what are we going to see when we come back in a couple of years? This will be a facility that costs $78 million. It's going to be 3 stories and 175,000 square feet. It's going to be a 200-bed skilled nursing and dementia care facility built by the hands of people that were protected by the men and women that will experience what the DMVA staff has to offer, along with an opportunity for our small, diverse businesses to realize around $9 million worth of participation in this project, with an additional 3% or more for our veteran business community. For now, I'd like to thank our design professional team from Horde Copeland Mott for their fine work in passing the baton to J.C. Orr & Son for general construction. And before I conclude my remarks, I'd like to recognize some of the DGS staff who have been and will be instrumental in the progress of this project. Our acting Deputy Secretary for Capital Programs, Mr. Greg Kirk, Mark Gaida, Hans Baylor, Art Pfeiffer, and Anthony Flynn for the Bureau of Capital Projects. And from the Bureau of Capital Projects Construction, Mike Hudzik, Mike Allenbaugh, Travis Curlin, Dan Hemphill, and Miles Filson. We are very excited to what we're going to see just 2 years from now, so that we can have a facility that we can feel honored to have built for the veterans that are going to be served in that facility. Thank you very much.
At this time, I am honored to introduce retired Brigadier General Huntley. Huntley serves as the Director of State, Local, and International Engagement, Office of Intergovernmental Affairs at the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. He retired as Director of Human Resources Policy Directorate, Army G1 in the Pentagon. He is an advocate for inner-city at-risk youth and all things related to supporting veterans, families, caregivers, and survivors. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming General Huntley.
Thank you very much. First of all, I'd like to say good morning, Governor Shapiro, Major General Schindler, veterans, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, leaders of the Hollidaysburg Veteran Home, and the entire leadership of the Pennsylvania Department of Military and Veteran Affairs. Again, I'm Henry Huntley, and I'm truly honored to be here today for this auspicious occasion and groundbreaking ceremony. As I look over this eager and now chilly audience in attendance, and as I reflect on why we're here and for such a wonderful occasion it is, I'm reminded of something that we often say in our discussions at the Department of Veteran Affairs. And it goes something like this: let's do everything within our powers to ensure veterans know us before they need us. I'd like to repeat that. Let's do everything within our powers to ensure veterans know us before they need us. So I asked the question, what does that mean? Well, for one thing, it means we must figure out how to better communicate with our veteran constituencies if we expect to maintain relationships and continue being the wonderful partners while ensuring the appropriate policies, legislation, and resources are made available to our veteran family. Also, we need to figure out how to better engage with, not only with our veterans and their families, but as well those who represent and advocate on behalf of our veterans and their families, whether that's here in the Commonwealth or in other places around the country and territories where our advocates of our veterans and their families, caregivers, and survivors may live. Why is this important? Well, to me, it's important because if and when we fail at this simple task to communicate or communications, then how do we truly develop a picture on what our veterans and families of our veterans need in their lives? And the lives I'm talking about are the veterans' lives that need supporting. And the lives that I'm talking about are the lives that need to be re-nurtured, if I could use that vernacular. Lives that need returning to the best or greatest normalcy that is achievable following their amazing sacrifices and service given on behalf of a grateful nation. So today, this groundbreaking ceremony only represents a small token of appreciation and in part a small return of that payment that the nation owes, because we all know that we can never fully repay a veteran and their families enough for what they have borne on behalf of a grateful nation. The Hollidaysburg Veterans Home facility today and after completion of the new construction will continue to serve veterans of multiple cohorts and those generations to come who serve and who will serve in conflicts and wars on behalf of this nation. I can't think of a more beautiful and embracing place to be than to be here today in Hollidaysburg. So as I prepare to sit down, because Governor, I don't want to stay up here too long. So as I prepare to sit down, and as I try to bring the conversation back to its beginning by ensuring veterans know us before they need us, I recall some early readings about Hollidaysburg Veteran Home. And the first thing that jumped out to me was that Hollidaysburg, where veterans feel the patriotism before even entering the facility. Well, what a great message. That is very, very powerful. But even more important, and what's an incredibly important and filling to bestow upon those veterans, their families, their caregivers, and the survivors who use and support this facility and community. So as we leave here, following today's celebrated groundbreaking, the facility that sits upon this beautiful Allegheny Mountain Ridge within a domain that's easily accessible by families and friends, and with the offerings of just enough isolation so the residents can enjoy the tranquil and breathtaking scenic living, will look and feel even better as you pass those 58 U.S. flags lining both sides of the avenue leading to the home. A home that bears the name of one of the nation's most celebrated generals and presidents, and under the watchful eye of the Eagle of Freedom. That, ladies and gentlemen, represents all that a nation can truly be and provide for her own. It is, too, a pleasant reminder that American heroes live here. So I encourage all veterans and survivors to contact us when you have problems at 1-800-MY-VA-411 if you need anything. And as in everything we do at the Department of Veteran Affairs, the VA mission is centered on you, the veteran. And on behalf of the Secretary of Veteran Affairs, the Honorable Dennis McDonough, it has been my honor sharing in today's ceremony that reminds us of the value of being a veteran in the United States of America. Thank you, and let us hear from you sometimes. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, sir. At this time, I am honored to introduce Major General Mark Schindler, the Adjutant General of Pennsylvania. In his cabinet-level position with the Department of Military and Veterans Affairs, headquartered at Fort Indiantown Gap, Lebanon County, General Schindler oversees a combined state and federal budget of over $966 million. He is responsible for the command and control of approximately 18,000 Army and Air National Guard members, the third largest National Guard in the nation, a complement of 2,500 Commonwealth employees, care of residential cadets at the Keystone State Challenge Academy, 6 state-owned veterans homes, and programs for Pennsylvania's more than 700,000 veterans. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Major General Mark Schindler.
Thank you, Travis. Good morning. Thank you for joining us today. Governor Shapiro, Mr. Huntley, Mr. McNeil, distinguished guests, members of the HVH Advisory Council, resident staff, and everyone joining us today. It's my pleasure to be with you. Today's a day of celebration as we break ground on our new long-term care building. The Hollidaysburg Veterans Home was established in 1977, and for nearly 50 years, the staff has proudly served, providing care for veterans and their spouses. This home, and the 5 others like it across the Commonwealth, functions because people are willing to serve. It is a circle of serving. Our staff uses their talents and abilities to serve. Our residents are folks that have served, willing to make unbearable sacrifices. Uniting with us to provide for the safety and security of others are our government officials. They too understand that service gives us purpose. It is the service and commitment of Governor Shapiro, his administration, the General Assembly, and this community that has connected to make this day possible. Together, we serve. Today, we focus our attention on veterans, folks who've done so much and ask so little. It is our responsibility as a community to provide for them in times of sickness and struggle and as they age. Pennsylvanians take this responsibility to heart. Located here along the Allegheny Mountains, Hollidaysburg Veterans Home is a pleasingly peaceful place where our vets feel at home. Upon arrival, residents and staff, family and friends are greeted with an avenue of American flags, a bright reminder of our love of country, as well as a testament to those willing to defend it. The HVH provides high-quality medical and personal care to its residents. The staff is devoted to its residents. Many of the staff are veterans themselves. Sharing similar life experiences with the residents, they understand the unique challenges of our veterans. The staff who provide care are always willing to do just a little more. Their service is truly appreciated. So let's talk about the new building. It's going to be a new, modern, single, double resident rooms, outdoor recreation area, and a large community room. If you need your hair done, no worries. There's a barber and a beauty shop. I bet they can do a regulation military haircut like this one right here, too. Hey, this new building provides for our veterans, giving the folks that care for them resources to provide outstanding care. The Department of Veterans Affairs is committed to providing veterans and their spouses with more than just a place to lay their heads. We want our residents to feel at home in our buildings, a home complete with social activities, meals, and friendships. Across Pennsylvania, we care for nearly 1,000 veterans, from World War II vets to our 21st century heroes, providing shelter, gracious care, and dignity, serving those who served. Rest assured, the Department of Military and Veterans Affairs and the Pennsylvania National Guard are committed to help and protect all Pennsylvanians, including the more than 700,000 Pennsylvania veterans. Today is possible because of the work of the DMVA, the Governor's Office, the General Assembly, state agencies, and our local partners. Thank you all for the work you put into this project and for your understanding of the commitment we have to those that served in the armed forces. Together we serve our Commonwealth and nation. In addition, I'd like to recognize the folks from the greater Duncansville community for their service to our veterans. Thank you to the volunteers for the donation drives and for your support of the Hollidaysburg Veterans Home. On behalf of the Pennsylvania Department of Military and Veterans Affairs, thank you to all our veterans, to the dedicated staff, and to all the officials. We've all served together to make this project a reality. As you all know, this new building's a very large project. And like most projects of this size, we've experienced bumps, struggles, challenges. There were even times when I had some doubts. But I'd like you all to know that it's because of Governor Shapiro that we're breaking ground today. He helped us, he advocated for us, he did everything he could to make this project possible. I'm so proud our governor joins me in commitment and service to Pennsylvania veterans. I sincerely thank him for his service to our veterans and welcome him here today. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the 48th Governor of Pennsylvania, Governor Josh Shapiro.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
It is wonderful to be with you, and it's an honor to follow General Schindler, fresh off an overwhelming confirmation, I should tell you, in the state Senate, a broad bipartisan vote, a sign of how all of us come together to support our veterans and to support the individual who advocates for our veterans every single day, General Schindler. General, thank you for your leadership. I'm grateful that you are serving in our administration. I'm honored to be here today to celebrate this groundbreaking of a new state-of-the-art home for our veterans right here in Blair County. I'm especially proud to address you not only as the Commonwealth's 48th governor, but as the proud son of a Navy veteran. In just a few moments, we'll break ground on the future home for 200 Pennsylvania heroes. And when we do, we'll not only begin a new chapter for this facility, we'll begin a new chapter of our Commonwealth's commitment to our veterans. Veterans who sacrificed for us, who answered the call to serve our country, and who fundamentally defended our freedoms. People like Air Force veteran Charlie Miller, who turns 90 later this year. The Hollidaysburg Veterans Home has been his home for 7 years, and this new building, with better wheelchair access, will give him the freedom of improved mobility. For veterans like John Servinsky and his wife, who will not only be able to live together, but now be able to entertain guests in their new sitting area. We are indebted to them for their service, and it's our obligation to provide them with the care they need to live with dignity as they age. They've earned that much and a whole lot more. And so I'm proud to be here today to break ground on this new 3-story, 161,000 square foot home for our Pennsylvania veterans, working with our federal partners at the United States Department of Veterans Affairs. Thank you, General Huntley. We are investing $97 million here in the Hollidaysburg Veterans Home. I want you to know that I spoke directly to the President of the United States about this project, conveyed to him just how important this was to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and he personally intervened to ensure that we receive the federal commitment to make this project come about. And so I want to thank President Biden for his leadership on this important construction. Thanks to this investment, starting in 2025, these proud veterans will have a fully modern, state-of-the-art facility that they will be able to call home. It'll provide new, larger living areas and community rooms, big enough for veterans and their spouses to live in comfort. I expect those living areas to be busy on the weekends, cheering for the Steelers or for Penn State football. It's important that that place be a place of happiness and cheering and festivities. I hope you'll invite me to come watch a game with you. This new home will include more space for the best nursing services and treatment around, and it'll also include new facilities to make people feel more comfortable. They'll have a library, a canteen, a barber shop, and a beauty shop. And as the general indicated, they'll probably do a military haircut, and pretty soon I'm going to need one of those, so I'll be coming back to get mine here. My administration, under the leadership of General Schindler and Acting Secretary McNeil, will ensure that this project goes on smoothly and our veterans receive our Commonwealth's full support. Across the Commonwealth, the Department of Military and Veterans Affairs runs 6 long-term care homes that are critical to that mission. They provide a variety of important services to help our veterans live and age with dignity, from health care to housing. This Hollidaysburg Veterans Home is the largest Commonwealth-run home, and by building a new home here at Hollidaysburg, we'll ensure they can enjoy their golden years with the people that they love. I want to take a moment to thank all of the incredible dedicated staff who work here and serve our Pennsylvania heroes. From the food service workers to the custodial and maintenance staff to the nurses and therapists and administrators, the staff here work every single day to serve others. They are incredibly honorable public servants. They're not only nurses and food service workers, but they're also friends and neighbors to our veterans. Folks who celebrate birthdays with residents here, who give them a hug after a tough day, who always return a smile. They work tirelessly to provide the best possible care for our veterans, and this investment by the Commonwealth is a very real sign of how much we care for you too, and how much we appreciate the important public service that you provide for our veterans. The veterans here today and the staff know, those who work at HVH every single day, I need you to know how inspiring you are to me. We owe it to you, to all of you, to support you, and I want you to know that the Shapiro administration will continue to stand with you and support you every step of the way. Today's groundbreaking is a symbol of that commitment, and I want you to know there is more to come. Thank you so much for allowing me to be here in your presence today. I feel honored to be with you and thankful for your service. Thanks to you, we defend our freedoms here in this nation and across the globe, and I will always be indebted to you. Thank you very much.
At this time, we will conduct the groundbreaking ceremony for today's event. Governor Shapiro, sir, would you please lead us in the official groundbreaking of our new Community Living Center? In addition to Governor Shapiro, would the following people please also come forward? The Adjutant General, Major General Schindler, Brigadier General Huntley, the Acting Secretary for General Services, the Deputy Adjutant General for Veterans Affairs, the Director of Veterans Homes, Hollidaysburg resident Mr. John Servinsky, Hollidaysburg resident Mr. Thomas Rogers, Hollidaysburg resident Mr. Ronald Dawson, Barb. Now, everyone, I'm excited to say, let's move some dirt. Oh, yeah.
Guys, be careful here, okay? Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand if you are able as the 28th Infantry Division retire the colors and remain standing for the service medley. Color Guard, retire the colors. Please be seated. This concludes our ceremony. Thank you for joining us today. We deeply appreciate your commitment to our residents of the Hollidaysburg Veterans Home, and we look forward to your continued support that is absolutely vital to our success. I also want to especially thank our team here at Hollidaysburg for putting on this event. With the weather and all the elements, we have one of the best teams in the Commonwealth, and we sincerely thank everyone who had a hand in putting this event together. Please feel free to join us for some refreshments and conversation at this time. And from all of the residents and staff of our Pennsylvania State Veterans Homes, thank you.